Hi guys, came home from work today, pulled up into the driveway, and I saw all these red tomatoes. So I went in the house, put my hair in a ponytail, and now I'm gonna go out and harvest them. Okay, first I'm gonna get some of these golden pear tomatoes. Okay, so let's go to the side garden here. Look at all those red tomatoes. The plant that's laying down are Romas. I keep fixing this and it keeps falling down, but I gotta do some harvesting there. These are the pole cherries or pole sweeties. Look at those, they're gorgeous. I'm going to check out this tomato. This is a hillbilly and it might be ready to harvest. I don't think they turn red. I have to look that up. And these over here I'm gonna harvest too. Oops, the camera almost slipped. And over here is an Abe Lincoln. It's getting bigger and bigger. With all the tomatoes I've been harvesting the last couple of weeks, this is my first harvesting of some Romas. I was just on my way to get the basket and I saw these Dr. Wickies, or Witties. They're huge, huge. And those might be ready too. I'm not sure. I gotta check on the coloring. Just gorgeous. Okay, here's my basket. I keep losing it. Oh yeah, that is beautiful and huge. These are gonna make an amazing sauce. This oblong one is with a little point on the end. That's actually an Amish paste. And I'm still harvesting some of the Juliets. Can you believe this is one plant? Check it out. And there's tons more. There's tons. You know, maybe not tons. 1 ton is 2,000. So 2,000 pounds. But there's so many tomatoes on this one plant. And I think I am gonna take off this hillbilly tomato. That's just some scarring. Darn, what I should have done is taken the time to get my clippers, because look how I just peeled down the whole stem and damaged that stem. But look at this beautiful tomato. And all of these pole cherries, or pole sweeties. And these pole cherries, that's also one plant coming out from under there. And now I'm digging into those Romas that fell over, the one plant that fell over, and this is like treasure hunting. And this mystery tomato plant, there's some that are rotted on there because of my neglect. But look what I just seen right next to it. Cucumber neglect. Let's see what I can get out of this without getting too many seeds. Maybe just freeze them in cubes for smoothies. And hiding behind here is a cantaloupe growing. Looks a little deformed, maybe it didn't get pollinated right. And it should be bigger by now. So I'm not sure what that's gonna do, but I'll keep my eye on it. I should have got a bigger basket. Okay, let's check out the beefsteaks. getting dark out, so I'm going to bring these in and sort them out. Creamy cherry tomato sauce. So I'm just going to rinse them good and take off the little tops. I don't know how to cook anything without using 100 dishes. I try. And then when I'm done, I turn around and go, oh my gosh, why did I use 4 forks? So I'm also going to be checking for bad spots on the tomatoes because we're not going to be getting rid of the skins. So I just want to make sure that the skins look really good too. Bad ones I'm just going to throw aside. All different kinds of cherry tomatoes. Doesn't matter what kind you use. So this calls for 6 cups of cherry tomatoes. Let's see what I got here. Oh, more than 6 cups. Yeah. The recipe I'm using is from Calvi Homestead. That's on YouTube, and it was uploaded August 2020. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the pan, not anything measured, and we're going to cook down the tomatoes slowly on like a medium flame. And of course I'm going to be adding one of my cayenne peppers. So I got a little bit of oil in there. 6 cups of cherry tomatoes. And we're going to cook them down. I'm going to coat them a little bit in the oil. This might take a while. We'll be right back. Adding a little salt. That's sea salt that I'm addicted to. Turn the flames down a little bit. I'm going to add some pepper. Just tossing around a little bit to coat everything. And I tell you, this looks good right now, even at this stage. You can see the salt crystals on there and the pepper. I could just pop these in my mouth right now. Okay, I'm just going to go out to the herb garden and get some fresh basil. Ooh, it's drizzling out. It's drizzling. And here is the herb garden gone wild, which I love. Okay, just gonna get some fresh basil here. Oh, looks like got some blooms happening. I'm picking more than I need, but these need to be picked. And you can see through the sunflower stalks, I have some blue African basil back here. Okay, I'm back. Let's see here. And I have some garlic from my homegrown garlic stash. These are 4 fairly large size cloves I'm going to be putting there. Tell you, my husband and I, hope that didn't hurt your ears. It hurt mine. Anyway, we love garlic. Can't understand how some people don't love garlic, but you know, to each their own. We love basil and we love garlic, and we just put so much of that in our recipes whenever we're cooking. Yeah, and it's easier to peel if you smash the garlic, but I won't put you through that again. So I really smash the garlic really hard. I've seen people who just, you know, slightly lean on it. And you know what? That works. I'm going to have to change my ways. Okay, I do see that some of the tomatoes are starting to split, so that's a good sign. I don't want the garlic to burn, so I'm not going to put it in right now. Maybe a little bit, but maybe some of the bigger cloves. And the other garlic I'll add later. Garlic burns so easy. Just going to get this ready. I'll throw some in there now too. Whatever you want, it's just tomato sauce. We're just going to let the juices come out and cook down. Add some more herbs. Some cream, heavy cream or half and half, depending on how creamy you want your cream sauce. So this really isn't like a lesson. I'm not teaching anybody anything. I'm just showing you what I'm doing, what I've learned from a YouTube channel, because I have a lot of cherry tomatoes and a lot of small, like Juliet tomatoes, and the pears, the yellow pear tomatoes, which make everything look beautiful, and they're so sweet. So I'm just trying to find ways to process and reserve all my tomatoes that I'm growing, so we can have some nice summer tasting dishes in the middle of winter. I just love that. So maybe this will give you guys an idea what you can do with your tomatoes, or even tomatoes you get at the farmer's market or even the grocery store if they having a good sale. You know, pick it up and preserve it for the winter. You know, in the winter you find most of the tomatoes really don't taste like much. Or even in the summer, you find the store-bought tomatoes don't really taste like much. But you can go to a local farmer's market, or if you grow your own, you'll get some really tasty tomatoes. Okay, you can see that some juices are starting to really come out now. And I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of sugar to the pan. Stir that in. Got a lot of good juice here. It's starting to thicken up a little bit. And I'm going to help these larger tomatoes break down just by stabbing them with the spatula here. Even the yellow pear tomatoes, I think they have a little bit of a thicker skin than the Juliets that are in here, so they're taking longer to break down, so I'm just going to help poke those around too. You know, help them break down a bit. And I'm going to add in the garlic now and the basil because there's so much juice, it's not going to like burn on the bottom of the pan. Try to get some in the pot. Oh my, is that looking good? Okay, so I still have it on that medium heat, and I'm going to keep it that way. And I want this juice to get thicker for when I scrape this along the pan, the juice separates and doesn't come back together. Okay, as you can see, everything is broken down nicely. You know, the seeds that you see and the skins don't bother us. When I make tomato sauce for canning, I actually remove the seeds and the skins with the other tomatoes. But for this sauce, it's no big deal. The cherry tomatoes, the skins are kind of thin, and they become tender. So it doesn't bother us. But you can see it is thickening up. It's not quite separating in the pan yet, where it's staying apart from each other when I scrape it. I might have been able to use a bigger pan so it was thinner. So it just might take a little bit longer for this to thicken up. Let me show you this here. So I want to keep this going until my scraping does not come back together. It's getting thicker still, and I just tasted some, so it tasted amazing, and I really wish you could smell it. But the house smells amazing. But I did add a little more sea salt. It's almost ready. I see the separation when I pull this across. It's not coming back together again so soon. Just a little bit longer. Okay, we're really close now. See? Separation and how it's not coming back so fast. So now I'm going to add 3 or 4 pinches of baking powder. And, sorry, can't do anything with shadows. What the baking powder does is stops the cream, the heavy cream or the half and half that you're using, from curdling. And you're going to see that the baking powder actually causes some sizzling here. I'm going to turn down the heat to low. And it's going to sizzle a little bit, which is normal. And the baking powder does not add any flavor to the sauce. Okay, it's just going to help the cream from curdling. You see how thick that is? Look at that. It's beautiful. I'm going to add now a half a cup of heavy cream. So don't forget, this is 4 cups of sauce here now. Stir that in. I probably could take out that pepper now. When I get a chance, I will. So look at this beautiful sauce, and it's so creamy, and the color is so pretty. If you made enough of it, you can can it, but what I'm going to do is put this in a plastic bag. I'm going to store them flat in the freezer. And then as I want to use it for anything, I'm just going to, pull out a bag out of the freezer. Right now, I think this would be good over shrimp or a chicken cutlet, or, of course you can put in a pound of spaghetti for the 4 cups of sauce. It's supposed to handle about a pound of pasta. Just stir that in. And voila. I am so grateful that I found this video on YouTube, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too, and maybe you have an idea to make the same. Simple, easy, quick. This took about 35 minutes max. And how to use all your cherry tomatoes up. This is just one way. Just a little bit in this one. So it gave me quart freezer bags, 2.5 quart freezer bags. So even though that only gave me 2.5 quarts, I have plenty more to process.